Hello everybody. I just want to let y'all know I restarted this video like 5 times just because I don't know the angle to where to direct it but I'm just gonna just go from the heart, come from the mind, and see where it goes. I wanted to do this video because just for awareness, just to put it out there and let people know that sometimes those signs or things you may think may be right. Your family member may be going through something tough and you may not even know it. Your friends may be going through something tough and you may not even know it. This is my story on how I was in a domestic violence relationship. Me and this person, we're gonna name him Brandon. Me and Brandon actually went to high school together. And I was a junior at the time and he was a sophomore, and he had this little crush on me and, you know, would follow behind me and my BFF. And, you know, he was this little skinny, slinky, tall boy with glasses, and I wasn't checking for him. I was 16 and was looking at older dudes, you know, thinking I was grown. So let's fast forward. Years later, I was about 25, 26, and we met up again. I was at a strip mall and about to go indoors into one of the department stores, and I heard somebody scream my whole entire government name out. And I look around, I'm like, hell is that? And so I look and I see him. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? I knew exactly who it was. He had a familiar face. And so I didn't remember his name. They always used to call him by his last name in school, so that's what I remembered him by. But, you know, we linked up, and later I found out that he had a girlfriend. He had a girlfriend that was 8 months pregnant. Yes, he did. But in my mind, I'm like, you know, I'm not checking for him, really. You know, we can hang out or something or whatever and catch up on, you know, old times. You know, we knew a lot of people or had a lot of people in common back then. So, you know, just catching up was really what was on my mind. He invited me to his place. Me not knowing that he stayed with her was something, because when I got there, I started seeing things everywhere that belongs to a female. And so I'm like, oh, okay, it's time to go. So I left, but I did come back again. We were supposed to go somewhere, but by this time she had the child and he was holding the baby, and I'm like, oh wow, what's going on? Like, I didn't know that the baby would be here. I didn't know she had the baby. I didn't know anything, but he was trying to make me hold the baby. I'm like, no. I still kept in contact with him because I felt like nothing was going to be further than a friendship. So he started to come to my place, and we started hanging out a little bit more and chilling and playing video games and whatever, just catching up on old times. And I'm gonna fast forward to one day he called me out of the blue, and he's like, please, you have to come here. Can you please just come? This bee just burnt me and scalded me with hot water. Yes, they got into a fight, an altercation, and she did throw boiling hot water on him. I later found out that he was choking her and hitting her and everything, and that's why she did what she did. But me, I came to his rescue. He was posted at a 7-Eleven when he called me, because that's where he ran to after she burnt him. And I got up, I went to the 7-Eleven where he said he was gonna be, but then I seen an ambulance leaving. So I automatically knew that he was in the ambulance, so I followed. Go to the hospital, and his arm is burnt, like skin coming off pink. It was bad. I took it upon myself to tell him, just come to our place for a little while. It's a lot going on, and maybe you guys will work it out, maybe you won't, but at least you'll be able to have a clear mind and think of what your next step will be. He comes to my home, and over time, I'm, cleaning his wounds, nursing his arm back to health. And, we get close over time. We get close. It was never in my intentions to be with him. I thought we were just gonna chill, And we started hanging out more. My friends and my family started hanging out with him. It was all cool. Then slowly the abuse starts. It didn't start physical. It was verbal. He would say I was ugly. He would call me a fat B when we would get into arguments. He would call me stupid. Just demeaning things that a mate shouldn't call you. At the time, I was a little bit, I was more overweight. And my confidence wasn't where it is today. So I allowed a lot of things to transpire that I should not have let transpire. I started seeing that he had a very angry attitude. And he would often tell me about his mother and how she didn't raise him, how they kept him indoors, how he was always shielded from the world and treated like a baby. And people always do that. They make you battle against their family, and it makes you feel like they're so lost and so just this lost soul that I wanted to console him. I wanted to bring him near me and show him love that he wasn't getting, but that wasn't my job. So I found out. The physical abuse started after I had found out I was pregnant. Now, fast forward, this is 2 years after being with him and still getting the verbal abuse and getting yelled at for silly things, for very silly things. For example, he would love going through my phone, going through my Facebook and everything. But when it was me doing the same to him, just to show him that I have nothing to hide, but do you? So I would do the same, and he would yell at me, he would scream. Like, I am 5'1". He was every bit of 6'4", 6'3". So talking to someone shorter than you, you're yelling at them. You're yelling at them on top of their head. You know what I'm saying? So it was just seemed like he was talking down to me. He turned so evil after I found out I was pregnant. He embarrassed me in front of anybody. He never cared. Here's a couple of instances. Brandon took me to a movie. It's supposed to be on a date night. And we get to the counter, and they tell me the price of the tickets because we're going to see a 3D movie, so of course it's going to be a little bit more expensive than usual. He started screaming, "Oh, this is too damn high. We going somewhere else. Come on, let's go." And I'm standing there baffled, embarrassed, and humiliated. And another instant, I like to cook, and my family loves my food, and I made some banana pudding. Everybody loves my banana pudding, but this food, it was like a little corner left after my family attacked it. He came downstairs storming, "Oh my God, I can't get shit," and excuse my language. "I can't get nothing," and stumped up the stairs. Then another time he got mad at me, and in front of my friends took some roses that I was given as a gift and threw the whole vase down on the floor, flowers and petals just thrown everywhere. I was so embarrassed. Oh, I was so embarrassed. But then it got physical. Instead of yelling now, he started to push me. And And when he would push me so hard that I would fall back or stumble back. This one particular time, he pushed me, but he pushed me and choked me at the same time. Around this time, I had allowed his cousin to stay with me. I didn't think nothing of it. I allowed him to stay with me just to get on his feet and, make a better life for himself as well. His cousin was in the living room, and I was in the hallway. And I said, you can't leave right now. We have a lot to discuss. This is the conversation I'm having during argument. And he like, get out my way, get out my face. I'm like, Brandon, just let's talk for a minute. Like, you a little hostile. He pushed me into the bathroom, got on top of me and started choking me. And his cousin like, man, stop, get off her. Then he gets up and just leaves out the house. I'm screaming, I'm yelling. His cousin like, you need to leave him. You need to leave him alone. You need to get your brothers, but you need to leave him alone. He started telling me things like, I'll never have my happily ever after. I'll never have somebody to love me like I want them to love me. He told me I wasn't all that. And I wouldn't be able to get a baller. He broke me down. He broke me down so bad. My spirit was low. And so I allowed a lot of things to transpire. Another day, I was pregnant and we got into an argument. I can't really think about what the arguments were about. Mainly, they were wrapped around monetary things. Him not having a job anymore. Him not trying to find work. Him being up under me and me being the sole breadwinner of the household. I got tired. Because I started to feel like I'm taking care of 3 children. Plus, I'm pregnant. It got a little stressful. So this one day, I'm sitting on the bed, and I am every bit of 5-6 months pregnant. He gets so mad at me. He's standing up, and I'm sitting on the bed. He charges towards me, gets on top of me, like over my legs, and starts choking me. And I'm like, get off of me, please. I'm pregnant with your baby. Please just get off of me. He eventually gets up and just storms out the house. I tell nobody. I picked him up from jail, brought him to the house. He was so ecstatic about the baby. And I felt like, maybe this would perhaps change him or change his frame of mind and make him be a more lighthearted person. And it didn't. It took such a toll on me. I started gaining more weight and more weight and more weight and more weight. And I didn't feel attractive no more. And when I had my son, he made it feel like if I left him, no one would help me. No one is going to want to help a single mother with 3 little kids. No one's going to want to be there for you. So with having low self-esteem, being depressed, and not feeling good about myself on the inside, you start believing what someone is telling you, especially when it's negative. You're like, well, shit, maybe no one is going to want to deal with me. No one's going to want to accept me or take me in because that's what this person is telling me. So maybe it is true. Another incident where we were in the kitchen and we were talking. And we started arguing. For what, I do not know. But all I can remember is that he came up to me, he rushed me. Granted, my children are in the home. They're upstairs and we're downstairs in the kitchen. And he swoops towards me and he chokes me. He's choking me, screaming at me in my face, just spit and just screaming just all in my face. And he takes me and he pushes me. And when he pushes me down to the floor. And when he pushed me down to the floor, the first thing I hit is my head. I hit my head, and I hit it so hard, it just made, like, I don't know. And I felt like I had to gasp and catch my breath. I already have asthma. I was born with asthma. And it seemed like that just made it all worse. So I sat there. And he seen I wasn't getting up. And how still my body was, that he hurried up. Came over me like, you okay, you okay, you okay? Come on, get up, get up, get up. You okay, you okay? Come on, get up, get up, get up. I'm sorry, get up, get up, get up. I couldn't get up. My body felt like it was paralyzed. It really did at the moment. And so finally he helped me up. He sat me on the couch. And he just left and went about his business. Well, at the time, my head was hurting the most. I didn't feel any other pain but my head. No, I didn't go to the hospital. No, I didn't call the police. But a couple days went by. I started feeling back pain. I'm like, this not right. Like, I've never felt pain like that in my life. So I go to my doctor and I let him know, something's not right with my back. And I need to get it checked out because I have severe pain now. And he asked me, has anything happened? Have you fell or anything? I'm like, no, I didn't. And I was like, oh, you know what? I slipped and fell in the kitchen. Knowing that it was all due to him pushing me down to the floor and choking me. Ultimately, my doctor gave me a script to get an MRI done to see what's going on with my bones in my back. And I'm gonna insert that documentation now. As you can see, I have bulging disc in my back. I suffer from chronic back pain, and I'm still dealing with that to this day. Did I get rid of him? No, I didn't. I stayed because that was what I knew. That's what he made me feel like. That's all I could know. And so another incident is I was sitting on the bed, minding my business, and my son was on the bed. He was every bit of 2 months. He was so little, and he's on his stomach playing on the bed, and somehow we get into an argument, and he's downstairs. Okay, we started to argue. He zooms upstairs and starts screaming. That was his main thing. He liked to scream at me, just screaming, spitting, just all in my face. And I'm like, would you leave me the hell alone? Just please get out of here. The baby's right here. Why are you yelling? He takes my baby's leg, pulls him to the end of the bed, and starts wailing on me. And this is the first time he's ever punched me. Other times he would push me down to the floor or choke me. This time he was wailing on me. He took my lamp, threw it at me, choked me some more. And I said, please stop, because the baby is right here. Please stop, please make a mistake in him. And when I said that, he pulls me off the bed onto the floor, kicked me in my side, punched me, pushed me, and threw some other things at me. And so I'm sitting there with my hands up, and please, would you stop? And at this time, I'm weak. I just had a baby. I had a tubal ligation right after I had my son, and my body was weak, and I couldn't defend myself, and he knew it. I ran out the house, And I ran to a neighbor's house. No shoes on. And I'm like, please call 911, please, 'cause I gotta get out of this. I can't do it no more. Like, he really hurt me. And so my neighbors are like frantic, and Lord, it was some white folks, y'all. Love my white folks, but ooh, they were hysterical. But them police came, and they went to my house, and then I followed them over there, and I explained everything that happened. It's a little graphic, but I'm going to show you guys pictures of the damage that was done to me. Now, he called some more. He sent letters. He was in jail for, I believe, 60 days. And, you know, he wrote letters, and he tried to call and contact me. He would call his family and have his family call me to make it seem like he's not calling me, and I would try to avoid that as well. Somehow, I let him back in because I didn't have no sitters. I didn't have nobody to keep my baby, so I went to work. So I felt like everything that he said was true. Like, I couldn't make it without him. That's how I felt. Even though he was abusing me. And when I let him back, I let him know that I would never want to be with him again. I told him that it was over. Don't ever try to be with me. Don't try to ask me to be with you, because you did the ultimate. And I can't. You really hurt my heart. So the terms of him being back were to keep the boys while I was going to work, and to maintain a household while I maintained keeping a job. And that didn't work because he wanted me. He wanted me to be his. He wanted me sexually as well. I wanted no parts of him at all. I still felt violated, and I felt horrible for what he did to me, especially in front of my child. This next incident was the last and final incident. I had my BFF and her wife at the time spend the night at my house, and we were all going through some rough patches around that time, and we all needed each other. So I always open my house to anybody who needs help, because I know what it's like to need help or just need love, you know? This one particular day, he slept in the bed with me. And I'm like, I don't want to sleep with you. I'm not going to sleep with you. I'll sleep at the opposite end of the bed. And so he's like, you tripping, you crazy. Why would you do something like that? Like, you need to stop. You need to just quit playing. Like, just, why I can't have sex with you? Like, why? I'm like, no, I'm not going to have sex with you. How can I give myself to you when you can't give me what I want? I'm not going to do it anymore. He stood up in front of me and told me, you gonna give me what the fuck I want. And I'm like, don't, please, just go about your business. Leave me alone. He pushed me down on the bed and held me down and tried to take my shorts off. He got them all the way down to my knees, and I'm like, please just get off of me. Stop, please stop. Would you quit? A few minutes go by. I go downstairs and I tell my friend what had just happened. And her friend comes upstairs. her wife at the time, comes upstairs. And she like, "No, man, F that. That ain't right. That ain't right." She was upset. She called my brothers. And she was like, "Y'all need to get over here. This nigga going crazy. Y'all need to come get y'all sister." My brothers come. And when he found out my brothers were coming, he left. He ran. He left. So they seen him running on the way here. And they ran after him. But that fool fast, he got away. My mom was here. My cousins and everybody just like, "You don't need him. You need a babysitter? I'll babysit. You need somebody to talk to? I'll talk to you." And I appreciated that. They ended up staying with me for about a good 3 months. And I'm saying this to say, just if you're going through somebody's thing, I'm sorry. If you are going through something, please reach out and tell somebody. Please reach out and tell somebody. Because you may ultimately get killed. This person can kill you if this person can actually ball up a fist or throw something at you or slap you. They have that mentality in their head that they can do this. They can hit you. That, man, they get help. Don't think that you can't have your happily ever after, because you damn sure can. And you don't have to deal with bullshit either. I ended up getting a protection order to protect myself because I didn't want him coming back here. I finally had enough. I felt so low and I felt so stupid because I took him back so many times. And I used to think like if my dad was here. My dad died when I was 17. And I would think like if he was here, maybe I wouldn't be going through this. Maybe I would get the love that I needed and went out to search somewhere else. I'm sorry, y'all. I hate this. Like, I hate this because I want to be over this shit. I want to be over it because I feel like I've grown. I actually had gained a lot of weight during this duration. My self-confidence was shot. I didn't feel good about myself. I didn't feel attractive. I didn't feel beautiful. I felt low. I felt like scum. I felt like dirt. I felt like crap. And I'm just happy to God that I had my friends and now my family to lean on. And you do have that support. You have that support. Some people think they don't. Some people don't want to open up about a situation like that. I didn't. I endured years of abuse, physically and mentally, emotionally, when I didn't have to. You know, you feel like you look a certain way and that no one is going to love you. You got to love yourself first. That's always important. And just reach out. Reach out. And if you feel like somebody is going through the same thing, reach out. Reach out, because you would much rather butt in to a situation and ultimately help someone than having to go to a burial site. It is what it is. So I hope I bring awareness. I hope that my story can help someone. And just know that you can get out of it. If you're in a situation right now, you can get out of it. Pray. Reach out. Talk to someone. There's so many organizations out there that are willing to help women who have been in a domestic violence relationship. And domestic violence isn't just physical. It's also verbal, mental, and emotional. You don't have to endure it. You can always get out. You can always get help.